change may not always be the easiest road. You have to come to the decision that you're ready to create change, that you are the change. And the most important thing to know is that the change begins with you. I was born in Mexico City, and I was brought to America when I was 6 years old. We came here in pursuit of the American dream. Sometimes I feel like maybe halfway or maybe after so many failures and obstacles, my family gave up. It is my duty to be the American dream, to show them the change.
Hello, my name is Sam. This YouTube channel I started years ago, and that YouTube channel got me to where I am today. But before I tell you where I am today, I'm going to tell you where I started. I was 2 months away from my 7th birthday. I remember being in a dark room, maybe a motel room, with my parents and my 2 sisters. It was an unknown place, and we had our suitcases. I remember 2 strange men I had never seen before come knock and say it was time to go. We were forced to pick a few things out of the suitcases and leave the rest behind, familiar things, maybe toys, a favorite blanket. Next thing I know is I'm running across the desert with my parents, my father holding my hand in one hand, my sister's hand in the other, and my mom holding on to my baby sister in her arms. I'm sorry, I said I wouldn't cry. The next thing I know, my dad's favorite sombrero flies off, and I turn around trying to go reach for it, and I felt him tug at me harshly, and I knew that there was something different about this experience. He said, "No, we have to keep looking forward." That was the last memory I have of my birth country, Mexico City. We arrived in Arizona, where I went to school, and I did not know the language. I was bullied, and I was picked on because I didn't know what anybody was saying. I remember one teacher, she believed in me. She saw little old me, no clothes. She went and found some help to get us some clothes. And she believed in me, and she worked with me, and she taught me English. And I learned. She then put me in advanced learning placement classes because she saw the potential in me. She took me from that environment of that school that we went to. We were then living in the only home we could afford, which was a small home where the bathroom was unfinished. We had a big empty pool in the backyard where we used to shower because that's all we had. This teacher pulled me out of this environment, and she put me in a magnet school with other kids that had good grades, and I didn't realize my potential because all I saw was hard work. All I saw my parents doing was my dad was a waiter at night, and my mom was working at a laundromat. I remember I used to go to school and just feel impotent. I did not know that I had potential had it not been for this teacher. When high school came around, I got a job at a pizzeria so that I could help my family. I was paying bills at 14. I was buying my own school clothes, paying for my own winter formal, and I was taking care of my younger siblings. High school was the hardest time of my life because that's when I realized the reality of being undocumented in this country. I knew that as my friends in school were getting ready to go to college, that was not my reality. I would not be able to file for financial aid. I would not be able to accept any scholarships. That's when the depression set in so heavily. I noticed that my 2 sisters attempted suicide because I know it was the pressure of being undocumented, living American at school, and coming home and knowing that you have no future. I saw my friends go off to college, and I had to stay back and keep doing work in kitchens, fast food, whatever we could. I survived this because no matter how depressed I was, journaling was my escape. I would go in my room and write letters to myself, notebooks I still have that I look back on when times get hard. I would write, "You are a caterpillar right now. The world will see you fly. Others may die, but you will live, and you will show them the way." At 25, after doing multiple jobs, washing people's laundry, working, rolling burritos at Chipotle, waiting tables, after a failed marriage and a son now, I came back home to a family that was angry at me for having a divorce. How dare you be a Mexican and get a divorce? And I said, you know what? I have to find my purpose. It's still there beating. It's still there telling me that there is more out there for me. I packed up my one suitcase. I had $50 to be exact. I grabbed my son. We had a one-way ticket to Atlanta. When I got to Atlanta, I knew that was my place. I knew that something about this city was calling me. Nothing could stop me. I felt unstoppable. It was the craziest time of my life, but I felt alive. I felt like this was my place. Nothing would take me out of it. I got a job waitressing. I got another job passing out flyers in street corners to parties. I used to take my son with me to the dinner shift. They allowed me to keep him in a little utility closet. I used to bring my laptop, let him watch shows. The people in the kitchen who became my friends, who were also undocumented, would feed him so that I could work. I used to feel so I needed to tell other people's stories. There was other people like me that were invisible, that were in the shadows, and they matter too. Undocumented immigrants matter. And I knew that I kept meeting people every day that were amazing musicians, artists, painters, and they were crazy just like me. And I said, I need to learn how to make films. I have a show idea. So I would stay up late at night after my jobs, and I would learn myself how to edit videos, how to download Adobe Premiere on my computer. Like, how do I make videos? How do I put music on them? How do I do it? I taught myself how to do all of this. I learned from other friends who did video work. And I used to stay up late at night, and that drove me. It kept me going to these jobs because I felt like I was onto something. Needless to say, my videos got me to show this work to an attorney that used to come eat at the restaurant I waitressed at. He said, I'm going to help you. I'm going to introduce you to a friend of mine who works in advertising. He has a big advertising agency. Come on Monday, and I'm going to walk you over to his office. Office I used to walk by when I used to get out of the train to walk to my restaurant job. I would peek in there and feel like, what kind of people work here? I bet I could never even be a receptionist here. He walked me over and he said, dress nice. I had green hair, I wore combat boots, I had piercings, and I was wearing a trench coat. I had my backpack with my camera in it and my laptop. He walked me over, and the CEO of Matlock Advertising, which is a 30-year-old advertising agency, was like, you know what, I normally don't give people with tattoos and piercings that much time. Show me your portfolio. And I said, sir, I don't have a portfolio. I have a YouTube channel. I opened up my computer and I said, this is what I do. I showed him Instagram videos on my phone, and he said, wow, you did all of this? I said, yes. He said, I don't want to give you a job. I want to be your business partner. I then felt like I wouldn't be able to take this opportunity. I said, sir, I'm undocumented. He looked at me and he said, I'm going to fight for you. He said, don't worry about that. I had never heard that one day in my life. Anybody who learned that I was undocumented took advantage of me. This person said, I don't want a hostage, I want a business partner. I am going to help you fix your status. Let's get this DACA going. Why haven't you done this? This is a priority. I said, sir, I haven't had the money. I'm a single parent. I cannot afford the filing fees for this. He said, I will pay for them because you're my business partner now. It has been almost 3 years since I partnered with this advertising agency, and in those 3 years, my life has changed dramatically. I have worked with the King family. Martin Luther King is my hero. I filmed his only granddaughter sharing stories about her grandmother. I've seen my films at the Carter and King exhibit. I have worked with nonprofits. I have met Gloria Steinem and filmed her and interviewed her and created content for her foundation. I have developed a digital platform that focuses on giving young people of color a space to share their stories, to write them. I don't censor them. I let them tell their stories because they matter. Because they may seem invisible to some, but they matter. They matter to me, and they should matter to everybody. Undocumented lives matter. DACA has been rescinded by the new administration, and there's a lot of misinformation out there about what DACA is and what Dreamers are. I want to challenge everybody to educate yourselves and to educate others. We don't get free college. We don't get free anything. All we get is a social security number, a work permit, and we're allowed to get a driver's license. Everything else is what we make it. Every other opportunity is the opportunities that we fight for. Nobody has given me anything for free. And I want people to know that there's 800,000 people out there like me, each a living story. And they're afraid right now. And our futures are uncertain. And we don't know what the next 6 months hold for us. I just got my first home. I have slept on people's floors, couches, in search of my dreams. I have fought for them. I have earned them. I had my first home finally, and I was able to move my family into this home so that I could look out for them and feel like they're safe. And I cannot show vulnerability to them because they depend on me to lead them in these times. But sometimes that eats away at me at night because there's so many other people like me out there that don't have the opportunity to be at Hatch today, that don't have the opportunity that I have to find a business partner that believes in them, that didn't have that teacher that said, I believe in this little Spanish-speaking child and I'm going to get them out of this environment and plant them somewhere else. They matter. They matter to me. And I really, really want this to be a call of action for all of you that are citizens. Dreamers cannot represent ourselves because we are not American citizens. But I want everybody to know that we need you. We pay taxes. I have a business. I pay over 20 American citizens. I pay taxes. And I don't get any of those back. I can't even get health care. So I hope that you guys take the initiative to maybe reach out to your state representatives and tell them that the DREAM Act should be passed. We don't want to take anything from anybody. We just want our fair shot. I don't know what's back in that country where my dad's hat flew off. And the only time I want to go back is to go back and help my people. Not to go back and stay and not be able to come back to the place where I've built a life. I don't want to live in the shadows anymore. Nobody else does. They call us dreamers, but I'm a doer. Thank you.